There is a kind of pain you only fully understand when you are old. It is not bone pain. It is not the pain of illness. It is the pain of spending your whole life for your children, only to reach the point where your hair has turned completely grey and still not have even one child who truly understands where you are tired. Sometimes you sit right in the middle of the house, hearing the television, the clatter of dishes, the phone ringing again and again, and yet you feel like a shadow, present but unseen. Do you know what hurts the most? It is not when your children yell at you. It is not when they abandon you. It is when they still love you, but in a rushed kind of way. A little money sent home, a few questions asked just to get it over with, a quick visit before they go right back to staring at their phones. But what you really need is something else, a knowing look, a thoughtful question, one moment where they sit down with you and do not look at the clock. That is all. And somehow even that feels strangely hard to get. Some wounds do not bleed, but they wear a person down day by day. I am going to say something that a lot of people may not want to hear, but at this age I do not speak just to sound pleasant anymore. I speak because I have lived long enough to know what is real, what is fake, what is laughter on the lips, and what is sorrow sitting silently in the chest. I have seen so many older people who are all alike in this way. During the day they fuss with folding a blanket again, sweeping a yard that is already clean, sitting there looking at the door as if waiting for someone to call out to them. At night they turn on a little radio just to hear a human voice and make the emptiness feel less heavy. Some have hands that shake, and still they say, "It is nothing." Some have had leg pain for months and only rub on ointment, too afraid to go get checked because they do not want to bother their children. Some pick up the phone, open their contacts, stare at their child's name for a while, then turn the screen off again. It is not because they do not miss them. It is because they do not dare to be a burden. I understand that, because that is not just one person's story. It is the story of so many people who are near the end of their lives. The pain of old age is often not about food or clothing. It is about reaching the end of your life and beginning to question your own worth. You ask yourself, where did I go wrong? Did I raise my children the wrong way? Did I sacrifice the wrong way? Or is loving too much also a mistake? The fears older people carry are things younger people may never fully understand. The fear of getting sick in the middle of the night and not daring to call your child. The fear of being a bother. The fear that the voice on the other end will sound rushed. The fear of hearing your own voice grow weak and feeling ashamed. The medicine box sits in the drawer. The reading glasses have had loose frames for who knows how long and still have not been replaced. That leg has hurt for months, and all you do is rub on ointment and let it go. A text gets typed out and then deleted. The words, "Dad is fine, Mum is fine," get spoken, just to reassure the children, while inside your heart is torn apart like dry leaves scattered across the yard. Sound familiar? Of course it does. It is so familiar that many people think it is just fate. But really, it is loneliness that has been hidden for far too long. Many older people do not suffer because their children are bad. They suffer because they keep holding up all they sacrificed, hoping it will somehow be exchanged for understanding. That is the mistake. Life does not work that way. You can go hungry so your child can stay in school. You can sell the last piece of land you have so they can build a house. But none of that automatically turns into a child who knows how to sit down and look straight at your loneliness. Young people are not cruel. They are just busy living their own lives. And we, once we are old, keep hoping they will understand things that only people near the end of life can understand. So we wait. We wait for a phone call. We wait for a family meal with everyone there. We wait for one sincere question. We wait so long that it becomes familiar. Familiar enough that we start to think we were born just to wait. And here is the harshest truth of all. The most pitiful older person is not the one who has no child nearby. It is the one who is still breathing, still clear-minded, and has already abandoned himself or herself. So let us say this plainly from the start. What truly wears an older person down is not just the passing years. It is the feeling of being treated like something ordinary, something everyone has gotten used to. You are there, fine. You are absent, also fine. A chair in the corner of the house, a bowl of rice eaten in a hurry, a sigh that no one hears. But from that place, people begin to understand something precious. Silence does not make others understand you better. It only makes the distance grow thicker. For so many years we stay quiet to keep the peace. We swallow our anger to keep the home calm. We choke down our hurt so the meal will not lose its warmth. We force ourselves to look strong so everyone thinks we are fine. But life is not fair to people who only know how to stay silent. The more you hide, the more others think you do not need anything. The more you smile, the more they think you are strong enough. And so the role of being strong, the one you have carried for so many years, ends up pushing you farther away from the very people you love most. Think about it. How many times in this life have you held yourself back? You held yourself back so your children would not worry. You held yourself back so the home would stay peaceful. You held yourself back so others would see you as understanding and reasonable. You held yourself back until your voice became quieter than the sound of a spoon touching a bowl. You held yourself back until everyone in the house got used to you enduring things. And the most frightening part is that you got used to it too. There are people who have reached this age and still live as though they need permission. They want to go somewhere and they study their child's face first. They want to buy a slightly warmer coat, but they are afraid of being called wasteful. They want to go to the doctor early, but they are afraid of being a bother. They want one good meal, and then they think, never mind, let me save the money for the kids. Always holding back, always giving way, always stepping aside until they look in the mirror and barely recognize themselves anymore. This line is painful, but worth remembering. The greatest sorrow in a person's life is not giving too much. It is giving so much that you no longer recognize who you are. So from this point on, things have to be different. Do not wait until you collapse from illness before giving yourself permission to be weak. Do not wait until all your hair is gray before daring to live honestly. If you need a phone call, make the call. If you want to see your children, say that you want to see them. If you want care and attention, say clearly that you need it. If you are tired, say you are tired. If you are sad, say you are sad. If you are in pain, go get treatment. Older people do not have time left to keep performing strength just to please the world. Enough is enough. Waking up does not mean slamming the table, arguing, or making a scene just to let the anger out. People who have truly lived do not use loud voices to prove their pain. Waking up means looking straight at your own life and saying, how many years do I really have left to keep living other people's emotions for them? That sentence hurts, but it is true. So true it sends a chill through you. You do not need your children's permission to be happy. You do not need anyone to confirm that you deserve rest. You do not need to wait until you're in a hospital bed before seeing that your life matters. A hot meal for yourself, a pair of soft slippers, a doctor's visit kept on time, an afternoon sitting by the window listening to the wind move through without feeling guilty. These things are not grand, but they are how you gather your life back, piece by piece. And taking your power back does not mean turning your back on your children. It does not mean staying bitter so they will feel guilty. It means beginning to live the rest of your life with dignity. Love whoever you still love, but do not leave yourself off the list. Endure what you still can, but do not endure so much that you lose your voice. Wait for whoever you want, but do not wait until you are lying down for the last time to realize that you never truly lived even one day for yourself. Remember this well. The power of someone who has lived a full life is not in having a loud voice. It is in reaching the point where no one can force you to betray your own feelings anymore. In the end, a wise person is not the one who manages to keep everything. It is the one who knows how to hold on to himself or herself after losing too much. Children will have lives of their own. Houses will grow old. The body will wear down. Only self-respect is left until the very last moment. Do not live the final years of your life like a shadow waiting for someone's pity. Live like a person who has walked through every storm and understands his or her own worth. People may forget your efforts, forget your pain, even forget everything you carried for them your whole life. But if you forget yourself too, that is when everything is truly lost. Remember this one line: old age may grow weak, but never let your spirit bow down.